is going to be five levels, or the five pillars, as we call it, of a professional production. And that's going to be one, development. Two is going to be pre-production. Three is going to be production. Four is going to be post-production. Five is going to be distribution of your product or your film. And this, development, pre-production, production, post-production, distribution of your product or film. And this is really even this is applicable to business and other industries as well. If people who are watching are in other industries, you'll kind of see that you kind of do the same thing. Same thing in building a house. It's kind of the same thing in a lot of things. It's really a common thread to producing, actually, anything on a really high level, and on any level, really, actually. And so basically, number one is the development. Development pertains to anything that goes into the creation of the script before it's what they call script locked, or before it's done, basically. To have a done script, you usually have to write it 3 times before it's done. You can't just write it once, or recommendedly you can't even just write it twice. They say there's the write, there's the rewrite, and then there's the rewrite. So 3 times is the usual. How do I know this? I went to school, baby. Went to school. Yeah. So educated. Yeah. So that's where school kind of comes in. It's like, well, how many times do you write a script? Well, school will tell you that. Well, what do I write about? School's not going to tell you that. Mm-hmm. School. I don't know about you guys, but as far as inspiring your deepest creativity, like really invoking that from you, usually school had nothing to do with that. It usually has a lot more to do with your life, has a lot more to do with what you think is humorous, and where your heart is. That's really where your stories come from. But anyways, there's a write, there's a rewrite, and then the rewrite. Once you have that bulleted down, then you have what they call script lock, and you are able at this point to successfully go to the next pillar, or the next level, which is called pre-production. Pre-production is going to be everything that involves getting all of the material and personnel elements of your script together. At first, you may not know what goes into that. First thing is first, you would have to do a script breakdown. You have to break down your actual script. You break it into you can break it into more things, and you will probably, the more particular that you're getting. But you break it into your cast, as far as your characters, have a list of your characters. You're going to have a list of all of the props that are involved, the locations that are involved. That's a big one. Locations that are involved. Any type of set decoration or whatnot that you would be looking for that will go into those locations. Wardrobe is another one that you would be making a note of. Any types of stunts, any types of VFX, visual effects, or special effects, even sound effects you might want to make a note about whenever it comes to a script breakdown. So those are just a couple of things that you would kind of put together and take from your actual script. You can do it the old school way, which is just getting a few different colors of highlighters, and you can make, blue is going to be all your characters, green is going to be all of your props, maybe red can be your locations or whatnot, and you just kind of flip through. You do all of your markings, you flip through, and then you list everything. That's kind of the old school way. New school way is really just to kind of do it all digitally. You can do it on a spreadsheet, which I kind of like to do a lot, and then, or you can actually use software. There's actually script breakdown software that comes with script writing programs out there, like Celtics. Some people call it Celtics, but Celtics if you have a PC, or if you have Mac. A lot of people use Final Draft for those types of things. But they do have script breakdown software in there. Once you get all that together for the most part, and you made your calls and stuff like that, and everything, you're going to have an actual date. And honestly, I like to kind of put a date out there to when we're going to actually shoot this, to when production starts. We call it principal photography. Is the very first shot. When is the first shot going to take place with everything? When are you going to be ready to actually shoot this thing? And that's going to be basically whenever you get into the next pillar, which is production. Production everyone knows about. That's probably the most famous, most popular pillar of them all is going to be production. Production is everything that you see in BTS and that you hear about as far as in Hollywood and all this is going to be behind the scenes. BTS behind the scenes, of course. Yes, acronyms, they're great. But it's going to be all of the filming and stuff like that you really kind of hear about in Hollywood and all that, and everyone knows what that's like. It's chaotic. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of cameras there. But other than that, it's one of the funner parts of all of the pillars because it's a lot of action and there's a lot of excitement. And so that's the cool thing about that. Once you're wrapped. Cool. Not a whole bunch to talk about there. Hey, wrap, a little wrap party or whatever. Get some drinks. Get some martinis, as we say, in the business. And you are wrapped on your picture. Congratulations, huge congratulations. That's a huge moment to be wrapped. After that, you're going to get into the next pillar, which is the post-production. That's going to be the editing and things like this. Your editor, if that's going to be you or someone else, is going to be looking for a lot of notes and things like that, a lot of back and forth whenever it comes to editing. If you're going to be getting music and you're going to be monetizing this thing, there's music rights to get or music rights to know about and to acquire the correct contracting and things like that for music. And so on and so forth. There's a lot of, maybe you're doing green screen, maybe you're doing special effects, there's sound effects, there's Foley artists, which are the people who make the sounds with other things like bells and maybe just shoes on gravel and in a studio, and then they add it to your actual to your picture, to your production as a sound effect. So people like that. There's the music score as well, whenever it comes to, again, what music you want to use and stuff like that. Maybe you want to have it professionally composed, or maybe you want to use music from somewhere else. But once you have all that together and everything, you have it. You have picture lock at that point. And so once you have picture lock at the end of post-production and you're good to go and all the corrections have been made and stuff like that, you can go on to the last pillar, which is the distribution. Maybe you have a short film and you want to distribute it out from film festivals and stuff like that. There's going to be fees for entry and submissions into film festivals. There's also going to be travel. If you're going to be trying to submit it to different ones, you're going to be traveling around. So you're going to need, maybe some funds for travel and for, your hotel and other things like that if you're going to be following your film around to the festivals that accept your film as well. Sometimes they don't accept them too. and things of this nature. And really, that's the kind of like the red carpet part, you know. That's really the kind of the part that is the most just kind of seen as far as accomplished, you know. You see all these very accomplished people, and I say it with quotes because it takes way more than just them for that accomplishment to be made. Is all I'm saying. Like the lead actor, or maybe the directors and everything. A good director will always tell you, dude, I would like to thank my cast, my crew, everyone who freaking was there. I would not be able to have done this without you guys, and that's a absolute true statement. They're the face, but honestly, there would be no face without these other people. So, very, very crucial to, be humble whenever it comes to those, and really give the credit where credit's due. But red carpet stuff and all that, and then maybe you talk to peeps about maybe getting your stuff into a lot of different platforms now. Amazon, there's Tubi, Hulu has a lot of different programs and stuff like that where you can get into. There's also distribution companies. You might get into a agent as far as talking about big money monetizing and getting into distribution companies. And so and then after that, guess what you do? You do it all over again. The cycle repeats, and life continues to go on and incarnate yet another idea. So those are the five pillars. Once again, development, pre-production, production, post-production, distribution of your product.
Damn, there it is.
There it is.